Hiya, fuzzbutts. Miss me? That's alright. I know you did. I miss myself sometimes too. But it's all good, because now I'm here. Wait. Why am I here again? So, what are these videos all about? Well, How Not to Basic, your guide to surviving and thriving at furry conventions, is basically gonna teach ya, myself, how to survive and act appropriately at furry conventions. Well, why am I doing this? Well, because I can. Because I also notice there's a lot of basic behavior going on at conventions and that ain't cool. And because, well, I love you all. But mostly me. So, what can you guys expect from all these videos coming? Well, your convention experience to be a hell of a lot better. Not only will you notice it, all your friends at conventions will notice it as well. So stay tuned. So, a lot of you that go to conventions probably notice that you come across one or two, not so pleasant smelling furries. And none of us can tolerate any of that, guys. But why would they do that? Like, who wouldn't take the time in a convention to shower? You go around the convention, you smell like pee, ew. Oh, absolutely disgusting. I mean, taking a shower at a convention? That's easier than getting a fox in bed. Forget I said that. All you really gotta do is remember the convention rule 621, right? I mean, 621, the one in there represents one shower a day at least. And, in my opinion, one change of clean clothes too. So, from me to you, here's a couple of tips on how you can stay clean and fresh at a convention. Shower every day. Just like the 621 rule, just take a shower at least once. Also, use some soft-smelling deodorant, not some spray stuff, so you smell fresh. And, make sure that you also change your clothes every day, not like the smelly shirt that's on me right now. For fursuiters especially, make sure whenever you suit, you take a shower before and after. And also, when you're done suiting, make sure you spray your suit down with some Febreze antibacterial spray or some other equivalent so your suit stays nice smelling throughout the whole convention. And always remember, after every convention, wash your suit. Now guys, when I say creepers and stalkers, I'm pretty sure most of you know what I mean. Mr. I want to get in your pants, but clearly I'm not interested. Hey. Ugh. It just weirds people out and makes them avoid you. No one wants to have some sort of creepy guy or stalker following them around a convention, or acting like that way. I mean, one of the easiest ways to make friends but not be a creeper at the same time is just try to find them through interests. Games, art, literature, any one of these kind of things. As long as it's not like that creepy guy over there. Also, it's really creepy when you just try to stick with one person at an entire convention. Try to diversify, find a group of friends to run around with, even make new ones. I mean, hey, conventions are great places to meet new people, huh? And if none of these happens to work for you and you're still unsure on how to approach a person, try to get another friend, or even a person's or that person's friend, to help you introduce yourself to that person. I mean, hey, there's no harm in trying, but one golden rule is never be persistent if the other person says no. That's just plain creepy. Being a fanboy or a fangirl in the fandom isn't really a problem. We all are. We love to fanboy or fangirl our favorite fursuits, favorite artists, favorite performers, anyone. But sometimes I see that it gets way out of control. And when it gets out of control, you just look plain basic. So, here's a few tips for you guys on how not to be a basic fanboy or fangirl. If you're one of those fanboys or fangirls, fear not. You're not really in trouble. But the thing is, if you go overboard, that's when your idols don't like it. It just seems plain annoying to them when you're trying to get their attention every 10 seconds. So, instead, maybe try to calm it down a little. Or again, outlive through your personal interests or mutual interests that you got with them. And if you are one of those people that do have fanboys or fangirls, again, not a really big problem. Show them some love though. Don't just flat out ignore them. Because that's pretty much how you get unpopular in the fandom. And, well, we've all pretty much seen what happens to people that are unpopular in the fandom, haven't we? And one important thing to remember is that fanboys and fangirls are always a volatile recipe for drama. And no one wants drama, not in this fandom right here. Now, A lot of you think that POPUFURS actually exist in the fandom. That these guys are the ones that get all the attention, that their names are spoken like they're superheroes or something. That is totally wrong. POPUFURS is nothing more than just a label put on people that just happen to have a lot of popularity because they've done unique or special things in the fandom and are well known. But it doesn't mean that they're any better. They're not superheroes at all. However, there are some of those in the fandom that think that not only are they POPUFURS, but they have the right to act like a douche because they are so. Now these are the guys that cause the problems and spread the rumors and make the title of POPUFUR so negatively conceived. Well, here's the best thing that you could do if you ever come across one of these guys. Ignore them. That's what I do, that's what everyone I know does, and that's what you should do as well, because there's nothing worse than starting drama with one of these guys. And if you happen to be one of those guys that think you're a POPUFUR, can act like a douche, well, I mean, good for you. Call me maybe? If you're a PARTYFUR and you love to throw down at a convention, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Psych! That's the wrong video! Seriously though, guys, if you're a PARTYFUR at the convention, I notice that all the time, there's always someone that gets out of line and can't control themselves. And before you know it, all hell breaks loose at the convention, and, well, let's just say, it doesn't end well. If you plan on drinking at a convention, try to keep it within the room, because no one wants to see 50 drunken dancer-furs out in the lobby going buck wild to the sea bath, because, you know, that was totally last year. But still, keep it to the rooms. We don't want to see your drunken asses walking all over my convention that I want to enjoy. Also, another handy tip, have a sober host at a party. I know it doesn't sound the greatest to have a sober host when everyone wants to go crazy and have a great time, but at the same time, in case anything happens, you always can rely on that person to know what the hell he or she is doing. And also another good party tip for you guys, make sure you have an adequate amount of refreshments, snacks and water and whatnot, because I've seen one too many times where someone's passed out or vomited all alcohol or some gross thing like that because they weren't physically ready to party. I mean, you can't be basic and have no food or no water before going buck wild, you know? And one last thing to remember, guys. For those that go to conventions looking for parties, don't just crash some random party that you've never been to or don't know anyone there. Make sure you're invited at least, because it is not cool to just crash some random room party and then have everyone looking at you like you just murdered someone. I mean, that's what I get all the time. So when I mean broke furries, I mean those furries that go around to conventions with empty wallets and try to mooch off of the goodness of other hardworking furries that earn their way to those conventions. I mean, it's true that not everyone makes a big buck every day, but at the same time, you gotta use some common sense and realize that if you don't got the cash, you shouldn't be going to conventions. I mean, if you're one of those furs that does exactly that, you go to conventions and mooch off others, and you're watching a video, stop watching this video right now, get out that house, and go find a job. Right now, this very instant. Seriously though, when you go to a convention, you gotta make sure that you're able to budget what you spend. You're not supposed to spend $500 at the dealer's room when you could be spending that $500 owing that money towards your room share, or your ride share, or both in so many cases that I've seen and heard of. I mean, all in all, remember, even if you don't have the money or the resources to go to a convention, there's always next year, and there's always plenty of other conventions to head to. And one more thing that really grinds my gears. Don't post on FA or on your live journal that you have no money and you're looking for free room shares or ride shares or whatnot, because not only is that really sad to see, but at the same time, it cheats off of the furry fandom's generosity. Sure, we're a group of nice people, but at the same time, it doesn't mean you can make 10 different journals to go to 10 different conventions while paying for absolutely none of them. So, what do I mean by being a NEWFUR? Well, simply put, you're a newbie at conventions. You're at the very first time at your convention and you're so excited to see and meet people, but you don't know where to start. Or more importantly, you don't know how to act. One of the things that I always see at conventions that always disgusts me is that people act like they just want the D. Not everyone wants you on their dick, and not everyone wants yours. And just like the video on how not to be creepy or how not to be a stalker, don't just stick to one person or to one area at a convention. Try to get the entire convention experience. You got the dealer's room, you got the zoo to go to, you got just hallways to roam around and meet people, you got events and panels and shows to attend. Make your convention experience broad and colorful. Another thing that when you're a NEWFUR at a convention, try to give yourself a personality or a character. Could be even through role-playing or something like that. But just don't be a basic person at a convention, kinda like, hi, my name is Spike. I'm a husky. Woof. Now let's go to your room and have sex. Now that is demonstration of a basic personality. And I can't believe I just did that to myself. So I think I'll go give myself a timeout. Here's a pro tip for you at conventions, especially if you're new to them. Think before you act. There are so many cases about one-timer first who just go to one convention, like Anthrocon, and then they completely mess it up, and it stains the history of not only themselves, but of Anthrocon. So think before you act at conventions. You never know when it'll catch up to you. Well, and that's that for this video of how not to basic, covering hygiene and public appearance, creepers and stalkers, fanboys, POPUFURS, PARTYFURS, broke furries, and being a newbie at conventions. Remember guys, don't be a basic congoer, and don't drop that thumb.